right, welcome back. We have moved on down to the round of 16, and we have now added on in a new caster friend. For those who do not know, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am the Super Tech God, and we're having a good time at SnapCon, getting ready for this great matchup that's about to happen, enjoying some casting with my friend over here, Guess.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this together several times now, several different events, so it's good to have you back here, man, as we're going to be getting ready to see Amanda, also known as Apartee, going up against HannahsCatCafe here in the round of 16. We're going to get them up on screen, showcase them to you, so you can get to know what decks they're playing, just like they do, because it is an open deck list. Now, what have you been thinking of SnapCon at the same time, good sir?
It's been great. It's been phenomenal to be able to, meet out and reach content creators and even people from chat and all the people who love to play Marvel Snap. It's been super awesome past 2 days. We need to have SnapCon every other weekend.
I think for the most part right now, the thing I've enjoyed the most is just seeing how many different people have been incredibly passionate about Marvel Snap, and we can see that in the types of decks that people are also bringing in, because there's clearly time and experience behind what they're bringing in. We see Apartee's doing the same thing right now, bringing in a Kang Moon Girl deck. I believe this might be very similar, at least the bottom line looks very similar to the one that we just saw take down part of Rivals. It went all the way into the finals, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah, we saw it in Rivals with Alex.
Yep, that is
yeah,
correct.
Alex Coach's style deck right there from Apartee. And we take a look at Hannah. For the same reason, we take a look, and she's diving into a straight-up, hardcore, Darkhawk good stats deck. This is a tried and true, has not gone away. No matter what you do to that stature, no matter what you do to Black Bolt, it doesn't matter. This deck is incredibly consistent. So we're going to see how consistent that is. Well, any minute now. Our participants are getting ready. They're pairing up right now as we get ready for the round of 16. Ken, what have you thought of your experience so far here at SnapCon?
So being in the top 32 has been super fun. Definitely did not expect to be out already, but nonetheless, we have some great competitors here, so
yeah,
anybody could win. It's been phenomenal so far, and yeah, I think this matchup is going to be a good one. Definitely both card lists are very strong and positive to get you to the next round, so it's going to be very interesting to see who's actually going to win this matchup. I mean, looking at both card lists, I give the slight advantage over to HannahsCatCafe because, again, that card list is very proven, right?
Yeah.
Having Black Bolt, Stature, and Iron Lad, and Darkhawk is a very strong card list. So we'll see what happens, but if Apartee pulls it off, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I got to give credit to, look, Moon Girl, very consistent archetype since the very beginning. But Kang is starting to finally make its emergence in Conquest decks, just in general right now. We said it when Kang first came to the game that it's going to be a very annoying card to deal with, and that someday there will be a value in Conquest. We're finally starting to see this emergence. So I want to ask you, as someone who has every current version of Kang in the game, do you use them at all?
I have not. I stopped using Kang. The last time I used Kang was Kang and Galactus.
Ooh.
Oh, closer.
That's
all right, my bad, yes.
No, you're good.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, that's the last time I actually used it, was back with Kang versus Galactus.
I mean, I like Kang. I think it's cool. It's a unique mechanic. If you're going to use it, you really should probably be using it in this style of tournament, even more than Conquest, because, yes, we are open deck list, but knowing how that setup's going to get in there, now that Magic is a little bit easier to pop out bright and early, get ready for turn 7, I think that Kang is finally making its appearance as it well should. We have incredible 5-cost cards that are very valuable. We see Legion took over the meta for all the right reasons at this point. So Kang on that same turn, you just never know what it's going to be. So you can see there's Hannah, there's Amanda. They're getting ready for that battle. They're linking up and sharing codes right now, and we're going to have that stream on there for you. Once again, to everybody in Felicity's chat, thank you so much for coming on through with all these donations. We're now up to 269 in the extra prize pool donation bin. We appreciate all of you, as well as all of our sponsors, including our featured sponsor today, Team Impulse. So here we go, live on in.
All right, it's going to be an exciting one. Let's see. So we got both Korg and Sunspot on the board. Oh, boy. It's going to be a good one.
Talk about a lucky draw there with that Sunspot in this moment. Yeah, and for all of our new viewers as well, Apartee, who you see over in your left-hand side, is being showcased on the main battle screen, including your bottom hand. The hand at the top of the screen, that's the hand of HannahsCatCafe. So you can see our full, we're going to get those deck lists. Those are from our prior match. We're going to get the deck lists updated for you so you can keep up with them using the links from Snap.fan. If you want to see some of the other tournament content that's going on at the same time, you can see twitch.tv/DefaultDan, who's showcasing more of the round of 16 as we speak, and they're getting into the next broadcast. I believe it's Bradsifer and Eddie who are currently casting over there. I like this play with Cosmo into Kamartaj at this point.
Yeah, that's the best way to go with that. Oh boy, shutting down Kamartaj. What a fun police we have by playing Cosmo into Kamartaj. Not a fan of that at all.
I got it. You got to feel a little bad for Hannah, though. She went for the Iron Lad pull and pulled Stature. So at least you know that it's in hand. But do you play the Black Bolt and go for the security? And Infinaut is our big pig. That's a huge win for Amanda right now, Apartee.
Yeah, it's just huge because now she's sitting on top of 2 pigs. So if there's anybody that have a limbo or any way to get limbo out would be fantastic. But that Death's Domain is going to cause problems for them both. So we'll see what happens. And of course, Hannah does have a Shang waiting on board. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one, though, because they're sitting with, she's got to float at some point, and I think this is the only chance. You're not going to really be able to do it on turn 7 as the Black Bolt tosses that Nebula out into Oblivion. Get all of the Jeffs and friends down. You can slide those as needed, obviously. So now it's just where do you put the pig? Do you keep it secure behind the Cosmo? And do you have enough in Death's Domain to take that over? You are sitting, and we see a snap come on down. We got our first snap going for 4, and Hannah's got to decide, is Captain Marvel going to be enough to take it down in Death's Domain?
Well, the answer there is no, I think.
Shouldn't
Captain
be.
Marvel, cannot handle that.
Well, that's backseat gaming.
Yeah, 100%. So at this point, I think a retreat is in order. I mean, you lose 1 cube, you go into the next round, get you some better locations, and hopefully you can handle that game a little bit better because Cosmo kind of shut down Kamartaj and Iron Lad became a Stature. So I think at this point, you retreat and take that 1 cube loss and go on to the next round.
Yeah, take the single cube as best you can. It's incredibly difficult when you know you feel that line. You're currently up in one of the lanes. It seems like it's a tie, but there's too much uncertainty right now from Hannah. And it would be a pretty smart retreat. She's staring at it. She's thinking about it, like all possible different play lines and looking for what are you going to do with those Jeffs? Are you going to build them in the middle and secure it or not? She hasn't clicked yes yet, but she's running out of time as the final turn's about to wrap up. She's going to make her call. Is this worth the big risk of 5? And it is in her mind. She drops down the Stature into Kamartaj, puts down the Captain Marvel over. Everybody's feeding on that side. Load everybody. Ooh! And it's not enough. There's your big pig. You could be a big pig, too. Unfortunately, boom. There you go. There's your 4 cubes to get you started in Kamartaj.
And don't forget, both players can actually see their card list. So
yes,
Hannah was definitely looking to see what cards in Amanda's deck could actually cause some issues. And she took that chance. But of course, didn't pay off. Infinaut is definitely one of the best cards in Marvel Snap.
Hey, you could preach that. You've been preaching that forever, man. I know. You love your Infinaut. You will get that to happen. We do not love squirrels. Hopefully, we have seen the leaks, if you will, from different cons and events in the past. Maybe we get those venomized squirrels, but right now, Hannah doesn't want to deal with any of it.
And you know why? Because Legion on Central Park is one of the worst feeling plays ever. I thought Galactus was, but Legion on Central Park takes the cake.
I mean, Savage Lance is pretty bad, too.
Yes.
I played that one earlier today. Oh!
Speaking of Savage Lance.
It's like they know. Now, do you retreat immediately again? You're still at only round 3, but no, you're going to go on through, put down that Nebula. Great location for Nebula. You only got 2 places on turn 1. That's guaranteed. If even left alone, loaded up on the next 2 turns, it's going to be a 1/7. Solid play. And we may have even more Raptors with Mirror Dimension dropping in the mid.
All right, there goes the snap. I'm assuming that was
that was Apartee. Yeah, Party dropped it down and said, this is good.
Hannah said not today. I totally get that.
Yeah. Again, smart call with all of those extra tokens dropping down with that location control of Legion, who absolutely, as we said before, took the meta properly by storm. definitely a good call. Run away. Don't let it happen. Again, you got a turn 1 Nebula and a snap off the bat. And I love it because you're sitting on both Magic and Legion. You have full control of that turn 6/7 board state.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't think she snapped because of those 2 cards. I think she snapped because of the one in the middle.
That's just because you love Infinite, though. Let's just call it
Look
call
at
it what it
this
is.
now. If we play Legion on this location, this is going to be a problem. This is bananas, guys. This is great. The locations have been working out for Apartee, so
Yeah.
let's see what it continues to go. I don't know if Hannah wants to take a chance here to retreat. Snap already went down, so she got to play this out and hope that Darkhawk, Zabu, and Ironland kind of come through for her. So let's see how it goes.
That collapsed mine really hurt specifically in that lane. They were sitting on Zabu with 2 other 4 costs as Magic's going to go ahead and get rid of Machine World, turn that into limbo for us. It was a perfect line for a Zabu deck. You have Zabu in your hand, you have 4 costs in your hand, and then, of course, the collapsed mine said, not today. I like the Sunspot play here. I like the hand play here. Hope that you're hitting super high. I mean, the good cards deck that, Hannah's playing is not a bad deck by any way, shape, or form. And sometimes, the magic of this game is exactly what locations you're going to pull. But how do you mitigate the snap damage along the way? Hannah's now sitting there with a pigged Black Bolt, trying to figure out if that 5/7 is going to have enough value for her. And I like this call here.
Yeah, think about it, because now on turn 7, you could drop a 0/9 She-Hulk and a 0/6 Infinite. 6/20 Infinite. So I think, yes, let's keep Limbo going and not worry. And also remove that Stark Tower.
That's what I'm looking
away
at.
from Zabu and
A
Captain
floatable 7-power Captain Marvel is a slightly dangerous thing. So remove that rather than all of the locking bricks, because there is still a potential. It is turn 5. We do know that they have the pigged Black Bolt. So that 5/7, even if you drop it down, it's not a perfect guarantee that everything's going to work your way, because they are still running Zabu. So I like this call here. Get rid of the bonuses. Don't go for that lane too aggressively. Get rid of it for everybody. As they drop down on top of Zabu, a Rock Slide to help feed that Darkhawk for the first time.
Yeah, this game is looking kind of good in Hannah's location. I mean, what she has to think about is she has Shang-Chi. So if she can get Shang-Chi correctly on that last turn, she should be okay. Dropping both Shang-Chi and Darkhawk will definitely put her in a good spot. I think Ironland right now is a perfect play to go. As we know, Apartee should skip this turn to give Sunspot that buff, and also get ready to drop the 0/9 She-Hulk along with the Infinite.
I'm curious if they're going to, like, for me, I'm looking at that Shang-Chi, and I know I also need to go second. And making sure you know how to keep your priority and lose your priority appropriately is incredibly important, as we see Iron Lad drop down in the right-hand limbo, which is going to copy a Korg feed a little further on. There's the Cosmo as a blocking insurance play, so that's probably going to be looking like a Darkhawk location, as we see the Infinite and She-Hulk drop down into the left and mid limbos. Because you can't just say limbo, because we've got 3.
3 limbos, that's right.
Yeah.
And this is the way I think Hannah takes a snap here and go forward with it. I think she has what she wanted. She played it perfectly. She's going to put her Darkhawk in one location, and I think Shang-Chi in another. And that should be the game, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll see how it goes. Let's see what Hannah thinks, see what she sees, and let's see if, we're getting it. The 2 cards, 3, let's go.
Yeah. This is a tough moment right here, because Hannah's looking basically like a chess match. You're looking 3 moves deep. It's the Cosmos down, so if I put something strong behind it, it's not going to get Shang-Chi'd. That's what Apartee could be thinking. But you still have to win the second location, and it's too close in the others. So where are you putting what? Are you putting it over and trying to fight for Limbo? Because if so, you're going to have to do it with Infinite, which is exactly what we've seen Amanda do.
Right.
So do you Shang-Chi on the left or the front? Let's find out as we drop it on down. Infinite there on the left-hand side, She-Hulk on this side. Where do they play it down? Shang-Chi's going to get rid of that She-Hulk in the middle lane. That's going to give Limbo over. There's your Darkhawk on top of it, scaling 1, 2, floating the Sunspot, and it's a close on the right-hand side. And Hannah hangs on for 4 cubes, makes it a much closer match. Nice play, nice read. Beautiful read, thinking that they were not going to play behind that Cosmo. Beautiful read.
Yep.
And a very scary location right now, cloning Vats. Being able to, if we get a She-Hulk in hand early enough, you could potentially see 3 She-Hulks drop down into this game.
That's very right. And of course, we got Moon Girl there still as well. So if Moon Girl can copy enough She-Hulks, and then we can play She-Hulks on cloning Vats, it's going to be a problem.
Zabu's going to give just as much love, though, knowing how this deck is built. You've got, I believe, 5 4 costs. So getting Zabu is a unpredictable amount of power in the following 2 lanes. But then now one of the most controversial locations, Danger Room, drops into the middle, where when you want it to die, it doesn't.
And Amanda drops in armor.
Just to say, not today.
Yes.
No risk.
That's correct.
No risk, all reward.
That's correct. We're keeping this lane alive and open because we have to play here. So I like that call. I like that call to play armor in that location. And we got snaps going on, ladies and gentlemen. I think Hannah's Cat Cafe is ready to win this matchup.
Yeah, I like this call because of the amount of duplication here that could be there, but we're going to see. There's our Zabu number 1. I would not be surprised on a Zabu number 2 as all the cards flip. Everything's nice and secure for now, keyword, in the Danger Room. And Death's Domain locks down that right-hand side, but we're going to get a couple of Jeffs to come hit the board too.
I don't know. This is not good for Hannah's Cat Cafe, I think, unless Amanda plays Magic, which I doubt she will, because now she does have Jeff, and she's copying Jeff. She's going to play a couple of Jeffs over to Death's Domain. I think this is a very tough one now, so Hannah's going to have to really be concerned about power. If she gets to copy the Darkhawk, which she doesn't have in hand yet, early enough, she has that chance to do it. But right now, he has to come out next turn.
Yeah. Especially now because she's all in officially. There's your Jeff. Another goes back to the hand. Sunspot drops in the middle, so you've got to think of when do you need to float. But we are on turn 4, and we did see the Magic actually get pulled. So it's a tough moment here. Do you use it in Death's Domain? Because typically you try to for the most part, but this is a very specific scenario. You're looking at how you're trying to control that lane with Jeff for this deck, and you can't Shang-Chi anything in the mid. So I like the idea of not doing it there. Just get the extra turn exclusively.
That's correct. Because, again, you drop that Jeff. You have 2 Jeffs. Play those Jeffs in Death's Domain. There's nothing that Hannah can really play over there to help you. So right now, I think Hannah's hoping that that Iron Lad turns into Darkhawk. Ladies and gentlemen, if that happens, oh boy.
Fingers crossed for Hannah on that aspect. We could see just a production line of Jeffs. Slide one to the left, put the next one in cloning vat. Slide one to the right, put the next one in cloning vat. You could see that, float that Sunspot even higher and higher and higher too. There's a couple of options that each player is going to try to work through right now.
What else is interesting? What if we get Legion on Death's Domain?
Ooh, here comes the Iron Lad who's pulling the... We don't know. Tune in. And now we have a big pig again.
Oh, Captain Marvel. Boy. That can go to Death's Domain.
Uh-huh. And has all the time in the world now to do it as Limbo flips in the mid. Now, thinking about it with these Jeffs, you've got to slide them over and over and over to maybe have to get past 2, if not 3 Captain Marvels. Now, this is something that we're working on at Snap.fan right now, is being able to explain every possible scenario of what's going to happen here with Captain Marvel. Remember this. Right now, Iron Lad has been turned into Captain Marvel, so that very specific card will have its own unique look at the board and say, can I win the game in just this move? It's not going to daisy chain. It's not going to go, okay, this Marvel goes here and this one goes here and then I win. So you've got to look at right now, one of them is going to play and only one of them. So you still need enough power in one of those other 2 lanes to go over the top of it. Do you do it in Limbo or do you do it in Cloning Vats?
I think you play Iron Lad right now in Cloning Vats and hope that it hits now.
It won't.
Oh, because
remember,
it's now
Captain Marvel. Officially another Captain Marvel.
Ooh, this is tough. This is real tough.
And don't forget, they also have Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Captain Marvel's not more powerful than that 6.
Exactly, right. But either way, for the stats, they're going to drop down that Captain Marvel, it looks like, in the mid. The Spider-Ham's going to hit a stature, turn that into a pig. And Jeff makes another reappearance where they can slide that one over if needed. We got a Cosmo, and we got
there
the
goes
Hawk.
the Darkhawk.
Oh,
There's
boy.
no Legion yet, so potentially she can definitely get the 2 Darkhawks now. So this is looking real good for Hannah's Cat Cafe. Yeah. After playing all those awesome Korgs earlier, now she drops that Darkhawk on the left and copies it and put it in the mid. She should be good.
I believe, and we'll find out how wrong I am in a moment, but I believe that Darkhawk's going to scale to a total of 10 between adding Limbo and then plus those 2 Korgs. I believe it's going to end up at a 410. If so, we're looking at a total of 20 power in either lane as is, but then you're still going to have one of the Iron Lads float over into Death's Domain. But I find it interesting that we haven't seen a move from one of those Jeffs yet either.
Oh, I think she has to wait until next turn and see what she pulls out. But what if Hannah doesn't play Darkhawk on Clone Vats and plays it in the mid on Limbo? Because then she can leave that lane open for the Shang-Chi.
Yeah, the Shang-Chi would be a critical move. And that's what I think she's trying to work through right now is, do I need to at this moment? Do I need to keep that card? Do I need a floater card? Or do I not? And they're going to drop just in the mid. They kept that lane open intentionally. Captain Marvel for the stats in the mid. There's your first pig into the cloning vats. They have a second 620 pig now. And maybe we see the magic of Kang. Or just say, no, my 20 power pig is fine. And they're going with the Kang.
Yeah, well, listen, you have Kang in your card list, you got to play
Now, I'm a little worried about this location placement, though. And chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if the effect goes through because Kang gets destroyed.
Doesn't Kang flip first, then gets destroyed?
I'm not sure how that registers on the board. We might see a learning opportunity for at least me or everybody simultaneously. So let's find out here.
Yeah. Kang goes through, yeah. I think on reveal and then destruction.
Right, but Kang won't be on the board for the rewind turn.
That's interesting.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not sure. We're going to find that out here. It's again, Kang, a very underplayed card for a long time. So we're going to find out what happens here. Yeah.
No, it's coming from the wall.
Not now. All right, the play is happening. We hear animations. It's going to give you a live feed over the shoulder. There we go. It's coming back on screen.
Kang.
Cosmo gets the drop on down there. Jeff is going to be played over on the... This is the opposite feed. We're now seeing it from the reverse side. There's the register. There's the register. And Kang, as destroyed from the depths of the graveyard, will rewind the turn and give us another look at the board. So once again, for those who are watching, just know we're now taking a look at this from Hannah's Cat Cafe, who is currently being played by the role of Apartee, and Apartee, who is currently being played by the role of Hannah's Cat Cafe.
All right, so we have the Shang-Chi getting ready to get rid of that pig.
Lock and load. Lock and load.
And of course, that Jeff sitting on that Death's Domain by itself is definitely 6. So what do we do here, guys? Do we think that the Iron Lad or...
It's a tiebreaker potential situation because you're going to see one of those Iron Lads move over, pull a tie. We could see multiple flights here. We could also see a potential word from our sponsors and tips for recent games, big pictures, or desktops and settings before you start streaming. We wait for it. We'll bring it back to you in real time really soon. There we go. There's the movement. We got a Jeff that plays on over. The Shang-Chi's gotten rid of the pig. We see no flight come on from space number 1. No flight comes from space on the 2. No flight come from space on the 3 because it doesn't move it all the way over. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a knockout of Hannah's Cat Cafe by Amanda. GG's. GG's, everyone. That was a tough battle as they show. Watch your steps, ladies. Hug it on out. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is the kind of event we've had here at SnapCon. The support from all of these players and participants. We've been looking for more moments like this, and it's just been that kind of weekend. Before the event, after the event, during the event, in the darkness of the event, and everything in between.
All right, we're back. what a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Like we said, it's going to be a close one. I definitely thought Hannah's Cat Cafe would pull it off, but
Yeah.
it's totally fine.
It was tough because there were several different moments in that battle where they could have gone left, they could have gone right. It was just constantly trying to play into that move, and you know what? It's all about what does that Iron Lad hit and when. And it was a perfect hit getting that Captain Marvel. And still good stats were coming down afterwards, but it just wasn't enough. And unfortunately, it ended the tournament for Hannah. We're going to be right back as we take a look potentially at the bracket or a word from our sponsors and dive on down to let you all know what's going on here at SnapCon. So here's a look at the top 16 as we see. We're going to be moving on thanks to rallycry.gg for this bracket right here and sponsoring the tournament in this aspect. They've been a huge partner, great platform to work with the last couple of days. So thank you so much for doing this. We're going to move Amanda Apartee over into the top 8, Elite 8, semi, quarterfinal, whichever you want to call it. They're going to be moving on, playing the winner of the Jolly Roger and Vasau. Moving on through, Rocco takes out Binks. So big name Binks has been knocked out of the tournament. We'll probably see Binks later on in today's broadcast too. There's Steve moves into the top 8 too. Steve also a member of Team Impulse, coming on down competing. They are not just a sponsor, they are hardcore gamer players.
That is correct.
They come from a Yu-Gi-Oh background for many, many years. So it's great to see that representation as well. Great job to you all too.